for tuning into another episode of EC Techie. Make sure to subscribe and like this video if you enjoy it. And let's go upstairs and talk about my top 10 favorite things I like about my new M1 Mac Mini. Okay, so for the number one reason why I like my new M1 Mac Mini has to be the design of the Mac Mini itself. It's super sleek. It comes in a really nice matte silver this year. Typically you get the option of a silver Mac Mini or a space gray. I typically get the silver just because I think it looks nicer overall, but I really do like the way it looks. It looks perfect on my desk. I have this nice wooden desk. I'll have to show some B-roll clips here of it. But it looks amazing on my desk, and I just love the overall design of it. Okay, and so for the second favorite thing about the M1 Mac Mini has to be how quiet it is overall. So this machine is insanely quiet. I have been running all sorts of different things at it, whether or not that's opening multiple browsers, whether or not that's rendering 4K video, whether or not that's full editing while listening to music, texting, whatever that may be. It doesn't seem to ever really kick on the fans unless it truly needs to. I probably had the fans run once, and it was for a super quick second. It just needed to ramp up real quick and go back down. Overall, I've had no issues with overheating. It's just amazing. It's super quiet. It's a perfect little companion to have on your desk. Okay, and so for number 3 on the list here, it's got to be the ports or the AIO on the back of the machine. So what you get straight out of the box is you have 2 USB ports. You also have 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports this year, or USB 4. Essentially, those can then run 4K displays. It can even run their $5,000 XDR display that they sell. That's Apple, of course. As well as it can do typical, USB-C charging, whether or not that's plugging a phone into it directly or powering another supply, whatever that may be. It also has your standard HDMI port on the back in case you want to plug in a display, like the one that I have set up here. It also has a aux cord or a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. So if you want to plug in headphones or plug something in directly to the back, you have that as an option. And then of course you have your standard AC power coming into the machine itself. Okay, and so number 4, it's got to be the fluidity of the computer itself. So how smooth it is, how nice the transitions are from opening up apps, regardless of what that's doing. Now one thing with this year is since it is the M1 silicone chip and not your classic Intel like the previous years, certain apps that are made only for Intel at the moment, like Photoshop, Premiere Pro, stuff like that, they take just a slight bit longer because they have to go through what's called Rosetta. Essentially, it makes it to where those apps will work directly with the M1 chip. But apps pre-built and made for Apple, like Messenger, Final Cut Pro, whatever that may be, is going to be super quick. It opens up so fast. Overall, the fluidity of the experience with this machine is amazing. Super smooth. I love it. Okay, and so number 5 has to be the specs for this computer. Now, I decided to go with the base model M1 Mac Mini. So it just starts out at 8 gigabytes of RAM. You have the 256 gigabyte storage for the actual storage from the machine itself. But then again, in this case, I have a few terabyte hard drives that I can plug in through the back as well whenever I need those. So for that base model configuration, you're only looking at $699, which is absolutely incredible. So that actually leads to number 6 on the list, which is going to be the price. So in previous iterations of the Mac Mini, you're looking at prices like $199 or even $899 for the upper level Mac Mini. But in this case, this is your first Mac product made directly from Apple that is under $1,000. It's relatively affordable in this case. For $699 for a Mac computer, that's crazy. That's unheard of when you're looking at computers nowadays, like your MacBook Pros, your 16 inches starting at, if not above $1,300, all the way up to like $2,500. It's just crazy to know that you have such a powerful small machine for such a solid price. Fantastic. Okay, and so that leads to number 7 here. So number 7 for me has to be my integration with my hard drives. Like I said previously, it's plug and play with all of your drives that you want to plug in through the back, whether or not that's plugging in directly through those Thunderbolt ports or those USB ports. In my case, I was super worried bringing all of my files from my old PC to my new M1 Mac Mini. But luckily it was just as simple as plugging one drive in from one, plugging into another. For those who don't know, typically when you move drives back and forth between Windows and Mac or Apple, it will wipe your whole drive if it's a different system. In this case, it didn't have to do that and it worked perfectly. I was so thankful I didn't have to transfer all of my files. Okay, and so that leads to number 8. So in this case here, that's got to be the straight power that comes from this machine. So I'm not going to go over all of the different specs of the power and rendering times and all those kind of things because I'm sure you've seen multiple videos about them. They're everywhere. But overall, this machine is super powerful. Like I said, it's super fluid. Rendering doesn't take very long at all. When I'm doing like a 4K video, it typically takes less than 10 minutes to render a whole video, which is crazy. But overall, super powerful. I've had no stuttering issues. Again, it's super smooth, and overall, the machine for only $699 again is so incredibly powerful. All right, so wrapping it up here, almost we're at number 9. So that has to be integration with my AirPods as well as my iPhone. So in this case, as you know, working with different Mac products, even iPhones and MacBooks and what that is, your AirPods and iPhone work perfectly together. Now with iOS 14 and Big Sur, you can actually have your AirPods switch automatically between any product that you're using at the moment. So using my AirPods to work on my computer, whether or not that is listening to music or editing, it just all works really well. Or files that I might be taking on my phone can just airdrop directly onto my Mac Mini or save in the iCloud, and everything is right there at my fingertips, and that's amazing. Okay, and so wrapping it up here at number 10, it's got to be the integration with my display. So in this case, I actually have a Samsung, funny enough, but I have a 32-inch 4K display Samsung that looks absolutely fantastic. Of course, in this case, it's going to be different for every single person that's using this product. It could be a different type of display, it could be the exact display, but overall, it's the whole experience when using whatever display works best for you. In this case, I have it set at 4K, 60 Hertz, and I can even ramp it up to 144 Hertz, which makes everything more smooth. But overall, colors look amazing on this display. The Mac Mini can put out some serious color and wattage there to where everything looks absolutely fantastic, and I love it. I'm so glad that I picked up this Mac Mini and didn't have to worry about spending $1,200, $2,000, whatever that may be, on a solid MacBook or even a Mac Pro if I wanted to spend way too much. But in this case, I'm super proud that I picked this up, and I think you guys should definitely go check it out if you're wanting a super solid Apple product that also works as a desktop. In this case, the Mac Mini is definitely the one to get. Again, only starts at $699, so you guys should definitely go check it out. I will go ahead and link down in the description where you guys can find this, but go ahead and hit all my socials up. If you guys want to give us a follow, that would be awesome. Also go check out the Phone Buzz podcast, where we record every single week, release every Monday, and go follow the socials. I'll have linked down below as well. Make sure to subscribe and like this video if you do, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, night, or wherever you're listening to this. Peace.